I let love, I let go, I release, and I know I forgive, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know.
Sister Jenna is one of the purest, most sublime spirits I've encountered. Gentle voice, gentle sound, but booming spirit. She makes life more graspable. I listen to her, I see and sense and say to her and about her. She's a woman of good, a woman of God, a woman of elevated consciousness. I'm so glad to be a part of your life and that you are a part of mine and that we are all together a part of each other's. Peace and blessing.
Hello everyone, I'm Sister Jenna. A few years ago I had a vision. The vision was comprised of witnessing members of Congress really going through a very tumultuous time. I had envisioned that within the walls of Congress there were questions about trust between themselves, but there was also the question of trust with Americans and the leadership of the country. So I went about to search for members of Congress who would be open to share with me the depths of their heart, what was at the base of their conscience. And I came across some of the most beautiful people that I walked away with this experience that our country is in good hands. Here we are many years later, maybe about 4 or 5 years later, after I had actually initially recorded Soul Talk on the Hill. And we're witnessing stuff that we have never seen in the United States of America. Trust within the walls of the United States Congress is at the all-time lowest it has ever been. As you know, just a few weeks ago, there were riots on the Capitol Hill. It was an insurrection. There were a lot of people hurt emotionally, mentally, physically. Soul Talk on the Hill invites me into the walls of the halls of Capitol Hill to sit and have a heart-to-heart conversation with members of Congress about what matters to them the most, what's at the base of their heart, their character, the content of their deepest, most innermost feelings. Never before has there been a meditation expert or an emotional wellness expert or even a yogi soul, however you want to put me in whatever label you want to. But there's never been someone like me that's been given the trust and the honor to enter into the walls of Capitol Hill and have a heart-to-heart conversation with our congressional leaders. What I love about Soul Talk on the Hill, it makes us see them for who they really are. Put aside all the political jargon that goes on. We get to see really who are the people that are creating our policies, voting for our rights. These are good people. And given the opportunity to really speak from the depths of their heart, the country, our cities, our districts will continue to keep thriving. As See Good TV re-releases this season of Soul Talk on the Hill, it is my pure wish that you sit back and relax and enjoy each of the episodes. Just go into the content, the questions, their expressions. You'll learn a lot about these people. They're good people. For anyone right now, it's a hard time. Globally, in the United States, it might be even more so, one of the hardest times it has ever endured. But I know that we will prevail, and I know that we will succeed. Soul Talk on the Hill is to invite you to give our congressional members a second chance, to begin to find ways to communicate with them from matters of the heart and not matters of the political spectrum. What's more important than anything is what is the need of the time internally, and how does my conscience and my heart find peace in my choices? Soul Talk on the Hill asks important questions, and the congressional leaders gave very profound answers. If you've got any comments or anything you'd like to share, please feel free to let us know. We would love to hear your feedback. Soul Talk on the Hill is not endorsing any political parties or any candidate. It is simply having a heart-to-heart conversation with those who gave me the permission to come into the sacredness of their office and delve into their hearts. Enjoy Soul Talk on the Hill. Be well. Be safe. God bless you. Please, take care of yourselves. Om Shanti. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to your next normal. I was thinking about how with See Good, the only place you can watch Soul Talk on the Hill is on See Good TV network. I mean, how precious is that? It's the only place you can see it, nowhere else, on See Good. So I don't know if you've not had a chance of looking at, briefing through it. It's not too bad, I have to say. You know, as I'm learning about all of these things as we move forward, it's not too bad. You know, today's topic on redefining success is not just about reaching the destination, but it's about the journey that you take. Sometimes it's just, you know, catching a thought, a vision. You don't really know how you're going to get there, but you know you will. I mean, there's something so powerful wrapped up. It's something so powerful in that. It's like, it's wrapped. It's already there. It's just that the soul has to go through the process, you know. Anyway, so we'll go deep into that today, and we'll talk more and send some Reiki and healing light. Little Happy, I think, has a little sicky tummy, so she's looking like all over the place today. Apart from that, everything else has been great. We've been doing a lot of work and organizing a lot of different things. I had a nice day. I even got a chance to take a nap and relaxed a little bit as well. Santosh is looking to receive his new camera tomorrow, and he's excited and I'm excited. He's been studying the camera from last month. So when the camera comes, it'll be a whole different format of studying. So we're looking forward to making the show of higher quality as well. And we need one more camera so we can be able to do the real kind of a work that we are envisioning. Not just the evening programs at night, but also to begin to produce stories with very important meanings, especially stories that are about the transformation of the self. So we need one more camera, just one more. And if any of you are feeling super generous, let us know. Email us, let us know. Santosh will tell you all the equipments and stuff that are needed. The ones that we're using now, the editors are not able to really edit at the quality that they wanted, so they've told us it's too outdated. It's hard for them to do any work with them anymore. So anyway, we had to go hunting around and looking for something precious and something that could be bigger than even just the studio work that we're doing here. So please contact us at meditationmuseum@gmail.com. And if Antonia or Santosh can just type it in the comments list, if you're interested in helping us to acquire a camera for production, email us and then they will tell you what's needed. Tom Rusi, who's one of our journalists here in Washington, D.C., is on my Twitter handle. And we met each other when we participated in the Stand Up for Humanity, which was organized by Reverend Sylvia of Unity of Washington, D.C. It was a beautiful event on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. And we had friends from all around the world. And Tom had come to cover the story that night. That's where we met. And then we stayed in touch on Twitter. And he posted this message today. And can I tell you, I laughed, I cried, I laughed, I cried, I laughed, I cried, I laughed, I cried. My tummy started to ache. I laughed, I cried, I laughed, I cried. So I thought, why not start out the evening with absolute laughter? And you know, they say there's no nourishment quite like the nourishment of happiness. And I'm going to request if Santosh can play it twice, because it's so good that you're going to want to see it 2 times to really get it. So enjoy your moment of laughter right now.
Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
we're
a
trying
look.
to, can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
we're
a
trying
look.
to, can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that.
Can I tell you how much I laughed when I saw that? And each time I would play it over on my Twitter handle. If you have not been on my Twitter, it's right there. It's posted right there. Each time I would play it over, I would just crack up, and I had to tell Tom, thank you for the laughter today. It was just hilarious. I mean, come on, you all must have thought that was just hilarious. Haven't you ever had one of those Zoom meetings that just went ghastly wrong? You know, it was just a nightmare for Zoom meeting. And I can only imagine, I was thinking, if anyone's undergoing some sort of a case and it's an online thing, make that happen, because I think you'll win over the judge's heart by making him laugh so much. I mean, I just couldn't hold myself together. I was just, and then it was funny because I found myself just replaying the video in my mind and just laughing by myself. And I thought how interesting how that thing had such an impact on me that I was just laughing and laughing, like it was just incredible. Anyway, it was just funny. I mean, you just have to keep watching it. It's just, Santo, she's still up. You just have to keep seeing it. It is funny. I mean, you just have to keep seeing it. It's just, but go on my Twitter handle and you get to play it over and over and over again. It was just delightful. Anyway, when we look at redefining happiness and success and moving into really what is success, we have been conditioned to interpret or define success based on a very large sum of money. And that large sum of money can buy a large house and a luxury car and beautiful jewelry and expensive clothes. And that success is like, it can take you to the Riviera. You can travel around the world if you wish. You can splurge and have big parties that are worth thousands and thousands of dollars. And sometimes you might see how some of the celebrities hold birthday parties for their children, and they say how it cost $1 million for this one's birthday party. And it's such a beautiful karma to be able to express your love for your child, that you could hold a birthday party for your 4-year-old that's $1 million. And it's not just for the 4-year-old, it's also your friends and family that are coming together now. So just when people look at that and they show you the people on the cover of magazines are the millionaires or the ones who seem to be the business person of the year or the entrepreneur of the year, or they will show you a man or a woman coming out of a limousine with a suitcase or with their Prada bags or glasses or with their, they call it high heel shoes or stilts. I don't know what they call it, something like that, where underneath now, I was told, when underneath of the shoe is red, it's like a really expensive shoe. And these are the things that we're conditioned that if you have it, you are successful. And majority of people in the world are still under that impression that if I have millions and I have a big house and I have a luxury car, and if you can go as far as getting a beautiful yacht and maybe your own private jet, you're like, wow, that's real success. That is success. But we have seen people who have been extremely successful, and it doesn't seem like it's enough, that it's enough. The Sultan of Brunei has 200 custom-made Rolls Royces, and he's recognized as one of the richest men. We always connect success to riches. That when you are very, very wealthy, what's it? Jeff Bezos, the Elon Musks, the Tim Cooks, the Warren Zuckerbergs, and these folks, the Warren, was it Buffett or Buffett? Yeah, so when we think of success, or the Bill Gates, we go there. We go, wow, yeah. We think success is an abundance of money. Well, was that a destination? I mean, how did they get there? Was the success really a passion that they found? Take, for example, Elon Musk, where he's so passionate about thinking very much into the future and going to the stars. And he continues to think about ways to be more progressive and to create new inventions. Look at the Tesla, my favorite car. I just love the Tesla. That he started that first electric car and brought it out to the public, paid off the government in whatever the government had loaned or practiced, and he paid off the government in full. It was a few years ago, I went to a program that he was speaking at, and it was like, wow, you know, it was just, I don't need you, you know, I'm on another movement. So sometimes when you think about the energy of success, it is more about when you have found that click, that zone, and it's where like your silence and your wisdom collides, and something magical comes from that. You're just in that place of absolute enthusiasm and zeal. That's to me what success is, when someone can maintain their zeal and enthusiasm. Situations, opportunities, circumstances, opportunities will find that soul because of their happiness. I was observing when I was looking at the video earlier today, and I was feeling this joy and this happiness just from that heartfelt laughter that I had. And I said, this is even success, to feel this way. And to what extent am I feeling this happy all the time in everything that I do? It would be success. I think we've just totally missed the beat or the real meaning of success here. It's not just the destination. It's not just the accumulation of toys, but it's the passion that you bring into whatever you do. It's the curiosity that you bring into what you are inventing or stepping into for the first time. It is the enthusiasm and the excitement in doing something maybe new, or something that you have been doing for a long time, but you keep reinventing it, and trying something out, you know. I was remembering when we first opened the first museum, and I just thought that first museum was absolutely astounding. And when the lease for that first museum was up, which I knew it was going to be, we had to find another place. I remembered I used to think to myself, gosh, can we really create something like this again in another space? And where are we going to find a space? And I just had to find myself saying, of course you can. It's in you. It's in you to see it, to feel it, to recognize it. You don't know how. I didn't know where the building was going to be. I don't know when we were ever going to find another building to open up the other museum. But it happened. We found the perfect location. And when we went in, we redid the space. Had to knock down some walls, put it back together. And that museum, beautiful. Was it more beautiful than the first one? No, it is as beautiful as the first one. And I would feel like that's success. And a lot of times when I look at what were my moments of success, I can't necessarily tell you it's after I achieved something. I can only tell you that my moment of success actually was when I found so much joy in what I was doing. And more than anything else, I had the joy of everyone around me that was in joy during the process. There's nothing more I love than when everyone in the team is happy and everybody just feels so inspired and driven and enthusiastic. That makes me happy when everybody just wants to be there. Last 2 weeks ago, we held a meeting with our brother Parag, who is into internet and technology. And I don't know if we actually had set a time how long the meeting would be, but we met with him, and what I maybe was thinking it would have been just a 1 hour meeting went into 4 hours, everyone. And I'll tell you how successful that meeting was. It wasn't that anything changed, like the technology and everything that didn't change, nothing changed. But it was the fact that everyone who was in that meeting wanted to be there. No one was rushing. No one gave you the feeling, I have something more important to do, that I don't have my time. I can't waste my time here. It was like everybody was present, and they were learning from Prague what was going on and how systems work. And I was so appreciative because I was like, I had no idea of the internet world in that capacity. And I felt like I just learned something. And it was in the learning and that moment of all of us settling, I said, this was a successful moment. I mean, this is success. So I'm just inviting everyone out there today that when you think about your success being a reaching to the destination or getting to the destination, pull back a little bit and see if you can observe what moves you. Where's your passion? What makes you fly? Antonia was over today doing some work, and she was like, why are you so happy, sister? Why are you so happy? And I was like, I just feel very peaceful today. She was like, yeah, but you're so happy today. And I was just like, well, I'm thinking about our new programming that's going to be rolling out next week. And I've been just going in silence. And in the teachings of the Brahma Kumaris, there is a very deep awareness that we are not performing anything new. The soul's karma and the soul's story is preordained and predestined. Number 2, and that if I do everything from pure intention, then of course it becomes really God's work. And so to what extent I keep trying to go into this place and say, show me exactly what it's going to look like, so we can process and put our energy in it so clearly. And the reason why change is so important, there was one thing that Santosh was saying, do we really have to change right now? And so I said, it's true. We don't have to do anything we don't want to. Our anniversary of 1 year is coming up on March 16th. We could wait until then and roll it out. I don't know. But I'm just feeling that sometimes, and it's something that I've learned from Daddy Janki. Daddy Janki had such a purity about the way she saw things that when she felt she got a touching from Baba, from God, and she would present it, that she would feel like it wasn't about her, that it would just move. And so the other day we were meeting upstairs, and all of us that sat around that table had like the same feeling, as if it was this confirmation. Oh yeah, definitely that will be it. And so it was like we were getting all of these touchings and these subtle signals from above to continue with the story. Continuation is a form of success. When you're able to continue with your life, continue with your dreams, continue even after you've had a failure, this is success. Not necessarily getting what you think you're supposed to have gotten, but your success is the fact that maybe you've fallen down 100 times, but your success is that you were able to get up 100 times too. Get what I'm saying? And sometimes even your falling down or feeling like you failed or lost something was only a signal to tell you, because that's not the way, it's this way. It's just a redirection in your life. So to what extent have I been able to understand the inner workings of the soul, that when I come out, that I'm so clear with what needs to be done, like what's really, really clear. We have hosted approximately 19 or 20 initiatives in Washington, D.C. And I can honestly say, out of all of that 19 or 20, 18 of them were signaled at 4 o'clock in the morning in meditation to do. And I remembered how they rolled. I just remembered how smooth they were. And I tell you, one of our biggest things is that we don't have the art of pushing. the work out that we do. Yes, we post everything on Facebook and YouTube, but I know there's another way that it gets done. We don't have that art. So I was thinking about all those incredible initiatives that we've done. We've done Kites for Peace. When you think about children in Georgia, when Russia was taking Georgia over, that were in an orphanage, and these were mentally challenged children, and they sent back the videos of those orphans in their wheelchairs, some of them flying the kites for peace, because they were donated by family and friends in Washington, in America, to them. You don't think that was success? Did we make money from it? Did we get recognition from it? Did the world awaken and recognize that one of the greatest ways to heal divide is through sports? No. But we were so happy to take our hundreds or thousands of kites out on the mall and sit out there and do designs and write blessings on the kites and fly them, and then find a way to get them into these countries, whether it was in Georgia, in Russia, during the occupation of Russia, whether it was in Iraq, where our friend from the America Islamic Congress took those kites herself to the kids in the street that were impacted by war, whether it was the children who were impacted by war and famine in the Congos. We had people that took it from there, whether it was the children in, I could go on and on, the children in Haiti. It's just, the success was not the destination. Like, did Kites for Peace become this big global phenomenon where millions and millions of people flew kites for peace? It didn't, and that wasn't the definition of the success, but it was everyone who was involved and their willingness to participate that said this was success already. This was already in its mode of success already. There was one project that we did called Remember Me. It was a time when there was anthrax being mailed. There were the sniper shootings in Washington. There was all of this disruption going on, and it was like you didn't know what to do, where to go. And an artist from Australia designed the 3 worlds. I don't know if Santosh has it, but there's the 3 worlds of Remember Me. And we designed these banners that were approximately 6 feet tall, 4 feet wide. And we somehow got the permission from the government to put up those banners around Embassy Row. Embassy Row is this beautiful area in Washington where thank you Santosh, where over 200 embassies are located, and it's an international area in Washington. And this image that had Remember Me on the top written, then at the bottom it had BKW, su.org in those days, that people would drive by and they would look at that image. And I actually would take these banners to meet with the ambassadors and ask them, what do you feel when you look at it? I'll always remember one of them had said, I feel like I'm coming out of my body, like he felt bodiless. And it was from that event that the chaplain of the Pentagon was moved by that image. And we ended up doing an event at the Pentagon with Deepak Chopra, which is where Portia Davidson and all of us, we met for the first time. And so success isn't the final destination, but it's all of those moments. It's all of those moments that you go through where people are invested. The artist was invested in creating the 3 levels of consciousness. The investors were invested in buying the kites for us so that we could donate them to children in war-torn countries, which was the purpose of Kites for Peace at the time. It's just the space that you're in. This is your success, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's not the final destination. It's not getting the millions. It's the way you're feeling as you're about to earn your millions. It's the joy and the spirit of cooperation and the spirit of charity and the humility and the perseverance and the tenacity and the courage and the determination and the fear of it all. That's success. The fact that you're alive, doing what you're called to do, it's success. And it's an inner thing. The way you're feeling on the inside, that's mobilizing your actions. Are you with me on this one today, everyone? Let's take a few moments, pause for a little bit, and think about what I've just dished out and shared for food for thought in today's sharing tonight. And just as you go into the meditation, just see in what way you can start to accept and define your life as one that is not only successful now, but will become successful, even more successful in the future. Ready? Take a deep breath.
The principle of stepping in and stepping out. For any activity or relationship to remain harmonious and successful, we must know how far to step in and how far to step out. Like a gardener who plants the seeds of his garden at the right time, steps in to plant them, water them, and then steps out of the picture and allows nature to carry on with her work. However, from time to time, he steps in again to see if there is enough water, if any insects are attacking the plants, if anything is needed. His role is to find the appropriate space for the seeds to emerge, their potential beauty and uniqueness. He does not create the flowers, but facilitates their expression. He does not step in too much. That would be called interference. After planting the seeds, he does not demand an instant result. He does not dig them up next day to see if they have sprouted. He plays his role, fulfills his duty, but lets go, for he understands the blooming of the flowers is not dependent on him. Of course, he does not step out for too long. If he did, then the plants may die from lack of care. The insects and weeds would overpower the plants. He does not let go so much. He does not step out so long that he isolates himself from the process. Instead, by knowing when to step in and when to step out, he creates a respectful partnership with nature. In the same way, we have the duty, or rather the honor, of planting positive seeds of good intention, respect, tolerance, etc., but must allow others and the forces of the universe to be given the space to work and respond according to their time and inclination. Very often we plant those seeds but want an immediate result. I have shown so much patience, but he doesn't change. How much longer do I have to be tolerant? I feel suppressed. We become attached to what we do, so there is no space for things to happen in their own appropriate time. Sometimes we have the wrong type of mercy, or we want to control, thinking we know better. So we step into people's lives too much. This interference and lack of freedom for the other provokes antagonism, resentment, and conflict. At other times, we get fed up with others. Our tolerance and empathy is totally reduced, and we say, I've had enough. I have to go to do my own things. So we step out, but in a selfish way. That is, we isolate ourselves from others or situations. This rejection and dislike, we justify it or disguise it with such phrases. Let them stand on their own feet. I need my own space. In actual fact, we can't be bothered anymore. We have stepped too much out of the picture because we have not cultivated the patient understanding which allows the good and positive to germinate and grow in its own time. It is an art to know when to step in and when to step out, and a very necessary one if well-being is to be achieved.
Shanti, welcome back. We're talking about redefining success, right? And how we look at success, and I've taken us definitely in an inner approach in how we look at it and live it, and really live it. Because let's say you have a business and you've put everything in it. Let's say the pandemic came along and that didn't make things any better. Let's say you're a business like ours where you thrive on people coming into the facility to keep it going, right? If you close down, is it a sense of failure, or is it a close down to say there's something else, that maybe the story is emerging and morphing into something else? It all depends on your mentality. You know, we can actually say that if you define success as an accumulation, that, well, I didn't get this, I didn't get the millions, so I'm a failure. Can you imagine how that energy goes against you and pushes you back and pushes you down to the point that you actually don't find the energy to even enjoy the little things in life? Even a walk in the park will not feel like success. The other day I was putting things together, and I thought to myself, there are people who can't even button their shirts. They can't get out of their beds and walk. There are people who can't see. There are souls who can't hear the birds chirping or the raindrops falling. I mean, it's amazing of how much we take for granted and miss, thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Thinking that what are people going to think if this happens? What are people going to think if I have to get a divorce? It's something very powerful in life, you know. We say, oh, well, you might hear some couples have stayed together for 50 or 60 years, and you're like, wow, that's amazing. That's a success story. And you don't know if individually you got to speak to those two partners, if they would say, you have no idea what it was like to be married to that person for 60 years. But culturally, you're like, I can't get a divorce. My culture says there's no such thing as divorce. And you stay in it. And let's say you're even in your marriage and you're not happy. Is that success? So is even ending your marriage a failure? No, it isn't. There's some people that actually get married, and after the first month, they realize they made a mistake. And they take that energy in their marriage for years, not knowing how to address it, not knowing how to deal with it. Because, you know, there are feelings involved. Oh, well, we went through so much. There was such an expense. Well, now we're living together. What are our friends going to say? And folks just try to do their best. Why? Because the delusion behind success is that people think something else or something more on the outside is your success. They've never thought, well, let me see what I can work with what I have. That's my success. Think about it. Let me see what I can work with is my success. And is there a way I can find the passion and the joy in this moment? The laughter, the connection, the being. That kind of an energy will lead you to some element of a greater form of success, because you're already in a state of success. So when you're emotional and mental, physical, practical, just everything in you, when all of that is in a good place, you have already succeeded. Sometimes the saddest thing to observe is to see a loved one depressed, not able to find the joy. And it's a hard place to be in, because you don't know what's happening to you. You don't know the language. You just know you feel lost inside, and you don't know where to go. And despite all the advice that you will get from family and friends, you're just not there. You know? And yet you might look at the person's environment and you go, gosh, they're so fortunate. But for that person, they're not present. It's all up here. It's like you look at them on the outside and you'd say, they're so fortunate. But then you go on the inside and they're going, wow, what do they mean? This isn't what I want. I think we lose our ability to succeed by always thinking the grass is greener on the other side. Big mistake. Secondly, we compare our lives with other people, and we lose the energy needed to purely motivate us. Second mistake. Stop comparing your life to others. Third, sometimes when a chapter closes for you, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a health, whether it's a business, or whether it's a belief system, close means there's something else opening up. And in order for the new aspect within you to open up, a lot of energy is needed. Whenever anything is being created for the first time, the amount of purity and power that's in the creative dimension is vast. You don't want to bring all of your old baggage into something new. So if the marriage is over, give it the love and say, thank you for whatever you've given me. And maybe I wasn't my best, and maybe you weren't your best, but we were the best that we knew how, and thank you for that. Even to be able to look at the closing of your marriage with that mentality in itself is success. It's not the divorce is not the failure. It's the attitude and the courage that you are able to offer to say, thank you. I mean, this was a ride. I mean, to what extent can we get to that part in ourselves that we begin to really value the moment? Like, this is it. There's electricity, there's light. Santosh, Sister Geeta, Naveen, Antonia, they're all in. I'm in. Happy is out. But like, okay, maybe sometimes when we look for results, we don't see them, but this is not to say that we don't see the fortune of our being together, our being in service to you. Do you know what it takes to do these shows every day, Monday through Friday, live for you? That is success. None of us went to college for this. And we're succeeding. Why? Because of how we're learning. Antonia didn't know anything about producing a radio show. I mean, Jiminy Cricket, when I first met her, she had one of the oldest cell phones. Had to say, look, if you're going to be with us working, you need a smartphone. I'm sorry, that phone ain't not going to work. And now she's got a cell phone even better than me and Santosh. And she's quick on her cell phone than I am on mine. Success is change, Success is newness. Success is taking a risk. Success is even when you're down and you get back up, there's something in there that you would have learned and felt and seen for you. Success is you're working for a job and then they fired you at a time when you needed the money the most, and you're just like, I'm not going to stop, even if I have to get 2 jobs. Sister Geeta used to work 3 jobs to make sure she could earn enough money to pay rent, to give me food, clothing, and to make sure we were okay. That was success, even though there were 3 different jobs paying minimal amount of money. But she was able to keep the roof over our heads. It's not easy to pay for rent and mortgage and all of these things, and you feel like if it doesn't keep staying with you, do you fail? No. You only fail when you stop trying, when you stop believing, when you stop having faith. But if you can maintain your faith, you are always going to succeed, even if it's small successes or grand ones. Am I talking to anyone out there today? Anyone at all? Thumbs up. I want to take us into a meditation on faith. I think it'll be really helpful in helping us to redefine success, for especially in this particular time where nobody can go out and show off all their little glitter. Like that little Zoom thing, that poor man with the cat. Let's look at our faith. What do you believe in? What are you ready to believe in? Let's take a breath.
What we believe comes true. What we believe is the reflection of our deepest held ideas and thoughts, which in one way or another are manifesting in every moment of our lives. It has been said, faith can move mountains, and the biggest, highest mountains are our own thoughts, feelings, and ideas, which sometimes can hinder our capacity to jump beyond our limits. Faith is the energy of understanding that enables us to realize that anything is possible, even if it is not visible in front of our eyes, but more especially, even if it's not visible in front of our reason. The success that comes from faith is closely linked with the fact of letting go. When we let go of what we are used to, that is, on what we depend on, then new perceptions and new possibilities open up for us. Let us take the example of the pole vaulter. He has a pole, he runs for a short distance, and when he comes to the barrier, he sets the pole firmly on the ground, using the pole to rise up and jump over the barrier. However, to jump over, he must let go of the very thing he used to rise up, the pole. If he holds on to the pole, he falls back with it and cannot get over to the other side. So his success depends on using the pole at the right time, but also to let it go at the right time. Without the pole, he cannot succeed, and if he holds on to it also, he cannot succeed. It is all a matter of appropriate timing, and this requires accurate discernment. Sometimes, incidents in our life make us like the pole vaulter. We have used many things in our life which at their time were valuable and necessary, but now have to be discarded because other things are necessary. Like a person who wishes for deeper spiritual experience, when he uses knowledge, knowledge is very necessary, and without it, he cannot rise to the heights he wishes. But equally, at one point, he has to let go of the support of knowledge and simply jump. To jump over the barrier of habit, custom, comfort. It is not simply a matter of knowledge, but to dare the self to enter another dimension of consciousness. To be willing to experiment requires faith and cannot be done if one still clings to the accustomed. Faith says that it's not necessary to analyze and know everything in detail before doing something. To know a few basics is enough, then one just does it. When we drive a car, do we insist on knowing how the engine works in detail before driving it? Do we know the details of an elevator before we use it? Most people do not know such details, but it is enough that they know the basics and get on with what they have to do. In our modern life, we overthink, wanting to control and direct every outcome, but then such a life lacks spontaneity and especially simplicity. Though we do need to structure things, a true structure or plan allows space for the unexpected, the unpredictable, the great surprise. Such space is the window through which the light of inspiration, of innovation can enter. When life is overplanned, then we are cemented in it, unable to grow, unable to flow to new horizons. Faith allows us to realize that optimum results can happen without always having to structure or plan every detail. Faith is the basis for new vision. Such faith allows us to reach beyond our limits because we believe we are more than what meets the eye. Such faith is the inspirational energy of every pioneer in whatever field.
Thanks everyone for joining us for another night, and it's our pure wish that something went in and helped tremendously for you to just redefine success and maybe just stop looking at others and look inside of yourself and see what God's light, what Baba's light, what Allah, Jehovah is signaling to you to be, and to tap into and to focus your energies on, so that your glory, your beauty, your wonder can really shine, So thank you for a wonderful night. Let me give a shout out to the tribe out there: Asmita, Annette, Denise, Wendy, Susan, Nikhil Kumar, Joshi, Om Shanti, S. Watson, Indu, Kailash, Louise, Carlene. So nice to have everybody on today. Lilawati, Om Shanti, Denise, it's good to have you. Alika, Suhela, wonderful, Om Shanti. Praveen Bhai, Om Shanti. Sudhaben, nice to have you. Daman, Nagashri, Om Shanti, warm welcome. Geeta and Nita, Om Shanti, from Texas, from Houston, Ranju, welcome as well. And to all of you out there, Grace, Om Shanti, Bryn, my dear, good luck, good wishes with all the studies. Dhiraj, Minakshi, Om Shanti, Bharti Ben, when are you going to make us some more special toli? All the toli you made for Baba's Day is done, so bring some over. Anyway, so thanks to everybody for coming on today and for sharing, and hopefully you've also taken that little second to like that little button right there. Like, just like, share, share. And feel free to email the Meditation Museum if you'd like to help us to get the camera so we can continue a lot of our wonderful filming. We love you. We wish you all the very best, and play back today's program. I'm sure that it will keep kind of awakening something inside of the consciousness. So, Om Shanti, good night. Don't forget, tomorrow's Gina Belafonte, Harry Belafonte's daughter. We're going to have a really nice conversation. All right, take care. Bye. Hi everyone, it's Sister Jenna from American Meditating Radio. I hope you've been enjoying Wiseish, which you can get live on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45. But you can also get it on demand 24/7. It's going to be your power boost for the morning. It's your daily dose for the soul. It's just going to encourage you to make the day that much more valuable. So join us. Looking forward to seeing you.
radiant